if function. The if function allows you to test a condition and return one value if the condition is true. If the condition is true, one value will be returned. Another value will be returned when the condition is false. When the condition is true, the value that you specify will be returned for true. For false also, you can specify another value. Its syntax is like this. Logical test. What is logical test? It is nothing but checking a condition. After checking the condition, what should be visible if the value, if the logical test returns true? What should be written if the logical test returns false? This is the syntax of if function. It checks the condition here. Here, condition will be checked. Here, the output when the logical test returns true as output, when logical test returns Boolean value true, what should be printed? When logical test returns false as output, what should be printed will be specified in if function. Let's see an example related to this. Suppose you have a column of numbers from A1 to A5. Suppose you have a column of numbers and you want to check whether each number is greater than or 5 or not. Right? So if it is greater than 5, what should be printed? If it is less than 5, what should be printed? So here every function in Excel starts with equal to if A1 greater than 5. This is the condition. We know that logical test always returns Boolean value true or Boolean value false. Here if the value in A1 cell, if it is greater than 5, the output will be visible as greater. If the value in A1 cell is less than 5, less or equal will be written. This is for true, this is for false, right? This formula will return greater if the value in the cell A1 is greater than 5 and less or equal if it is below 5, right? Equal to or below 5, false statement will be returned. So now let's see the next important function, that is IFERROR. The IFERROR function allows you to return a specified value if the formula results in an error. So let's take one example. When we try to divide any cell, any value in any cell with 0, it generates divide by 0 error. In the same manner, when we make different mistakes in writing formulas and using formulas, different types of errors will be visible to us. Like reference error, no value error, there will be different types of errors in Excel. So whenever there is an occurrence of error, when your operation leads to an error, right? So what output should be visible when an error is generated? So when a particular operation is done, when particular value is generated, if that operation leads to an error, what should be visible as a message or what should happen can be specified by using this IFERROR function. Let's see an example related to this. Suppose you want to divide the value in cell A1 by the value in the cell B1. Suppose we have two cells, like we have values in two cells. One value is in A1 cell and another value is in B1 cell. Now, but you want to display error if there is a division by 0 error. Suppose if you take an example, if A1 cell has value, suppose A1 cell has value 4 and B1 cell has value 2, then what will happen? Without any error, the operation will be proceeded and the value that it will return is 2, right? So, but when we write IFERROR function, only in case of suppose if B1 cell is equal to 0, then what will happen? When an error is generated by this operation, the message that should be displayed is error. If there is no error, the actual output will be displayed. Only in case of a mistake, only in case of a particular error by the system when it is doing its operation, then only this message will be visible. This is the use of IFERROR function. This formula will return the result of the division when the division is normal. Like the values like 4 and 2 are given, it will return normal output. Only when an error is generated, this message error will be visible, right? Unless it results in an error, in which case it will return error. Otherwise, the regular output, like as we consider 4 and 2, it will generate 2 as output. Only in case of error, the error message will be visible by using this function. Now let's see the third function related to the if. The IFS function allows you to evaluate multiple conditions and return different values based on first condition that is true. So here IFS, what it is doing, it allows you to check multiple conditions and return different values based on the first condition that is true. So condition 1, value 1, condition 2, value 2, like that you can specify multiple conditions. Let's see an example related to this. Suppose we have marks in our score in A1 cell and you want to assign a grade based on the score. So IFS function will be like, if A1 greater than or equal to 90, grade A. If, so what is condition 1? In condition 1, right, A1 greater than or equal to 90, then the message that will be displayed is A grade. If A1 greater than or equal to, only when this condition is not satisfied, it will move to next condition. A1 greater than or equal to 80, then B will be printed. If A1 greater than or equal to 70, C will be printed. If it is greater than or equal to 60, D will be printed, right? Only when the condition is true, these values will be printed. If all these values are not, any value is not satisfied, suppose the value is like 40 or 50, then what will happen? The default message, like if no condition is satisfied, then F or false will be whatever you write between the double quote, whatever message that you want to display. Like if you can also specify like fail, or you can specify based on your own choice and own requirement. Like this, we can check multiple conditions. This formula will return grade A if the score is 90 or higher, B if it is between 80 or 89. This is how this formula works. This is useful to check multiple conditions. Working of if, IFS and IFERROR in Excel sheet. Now let's see first function, that is if. In if function, if logical test is true, the true statement will be executed. If the logical test is false, then false related statement will be executed. Now we are checking the value of A2. If A2 greater than or equal to 60, it should print pass. Now we are in A3 cell. Now I am changing value. It is not changing. Let's see why it is not changing. Because maybe in formula we specified some other cell. Yes, we have specified A2 cell instead of A3 cell. Let me change it to A3 now. Right. When I change it to A3, when I see the output, it is fail. Right. So when I change the value to 78, again pass. So any value above 60, it will print pass. Any value less than 60, it will print fail. This is how we can use if function. Now coming to the next part. So I'm changing again 8, right? So again fail. 80 again pass, right? Now moving to next formula. The next formula is if error. So 95 by 2, we got the answer as 47.5. If error, I am performing operation A4 by B4, 95 by 2. In A4 I have 95, in B4 I have 2. When the result is calculated without an error, the result will be displayed. Now 95 by 2 is 47.5, no error. So no message is displayed here. Suppose if I change this to 0, 95 by 0 is not possible. So it is showing the error message that is wrong data. This is how we can use this if error function in Excel worksheet. Any type of error, value error, reference error, divide by 0 error, all this will give this data. Now let's move to next function, that is IFS. In IFS function we can check multiple conditions. Now I am checking, now I am giving three different logical tests like A1 greater than or equal to 90, grade 1. When the first condition is false, it checks the second condition. When the second condition is false, it checks the third condition. It is just like if else if in most of the programming languages. If A1 greater than or equal to 90, it prints grade 1. If it is not true, then it checks grade 2 logical test. Then it checks grade 3 logical test. If all the conditions are not true, then it prints the default case. In this example, we have 70, 70 we have grade 3. Now I am changing it to 100. Now it is grade 1. Right, 45 fail because it is not in the case of grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3. So 45 not in grade 1, it is not in grade 2, it is not in grade